Hi, I'm Josh Augustine. I'm a designer on Landmark, and I've been working a lot on caves recently. Obviously, caves are out now. You've been able to dig around, go with your pulverizer, go exploring through the surface caves and the pocket caves underneath, trying to get treasure chests, all that sort of fun stuff. So right now, as you know, we have the surface layer. In the surface caves, you run around the surface, you find the crag, you jump in, go explore, get some plants, that sort of stuff. But there's all this other part of the continent that we're not using right now. And so what we're going to be doing is adding more underground layers. So when you're digging through the caverns up here, you know, you could break down into the next layer, and that's going to have new biomes, new resources, new plants, all that sort of stuff for you to go exploring through. So we already have some resources that are only found underground. And in the future, when we add these underground layers, we're really going to expand on that, right? Because we're going to have so many layers to work with underground. You're only going to be able to find, tier 1 resources on the surface, and everything else is going to be underground that you can go exploring and digging and find down there.
Hi, I'm Alan Lapidus, Senior Artist here on Landmark. I'm here to give you a little bit of background about our cave system that we recently added into the game. Now, as you're exploring the world, you're seeing our first tier of caves. Each cave system that you're exploring is bound to the biome above it, so jungle for jungle, crystalline frost underneath the tundra, and so on. What we wanted to do is we wanted to create our tile sets or templates so that they interconnect and create vast networks of caves. Each one had to have some personality and look interesting enough when you're in it, creating a nice organic series of chambers and drops and tunnels with little hidden nooks and crannies for resources or treasure chests to be hidden and discovered. We wanted it to feel like it didn't fly flat, but it didn't go straight down too. So it's always twisting around and leading you in different directions. Each cave is associated with an above ground biome and has a palette and a style of its own. Unique props that grow and create interesting silhouettes down below. So as you're passing through the jungle, there's a canopy of roots above your head hanging down. The crystals have glowing luminescent structures which light your way as you go down the dark corridors. And in the desert, the choking sands create a red haze that's only illuminated by the glowing red plants underneath the surface of the land. So in research for caves, we looked through a variety of different styles: limestone, talus, all sort of sedimentary caves, windblown and water eroded. We settled on a nice mid-grade style that had elements of all of those different cave networks, but wasn't distinct to just one. That allows us to procedurally create these networks themed to the biome that they represent.
Hi there, my name is Steve Klug. I'm the technical director on EverQuest Next and Landmark. So one of the very interesting technical challenges that we have is how to handle performance. When you have a whole bunch of things under the ground, you have to have some way of not drawing them and not creating those meshes. As part of our performance issue is that we don't want to have to create all those caves if you're not actually able to see them. All right, so here's just a normal mountainside that you would see in any part of our game. But underneath, you'll see there's this whole network of caves. And this is actually a fairly small one. But you can imagine that as you're running over the world, if every single cave that was under the world was also being created and drawn by your video card, that it would slow the game down tremendously. So one of the things that we're working on is to put in what's called a visibility occlusion system that not only prevents them from being drawn when you can't see them, but also prevents them from being created when you can't see them. And that's been a very challenging piece of technology. It's still a work in progress.
So we did a lot of play tests with caves early on to find out the things that worked, the things that didn't. And we're having a lot of fun with the way they are now, and we're excited to get your feedback. But there's quite a few features that came in with it that we're having a lot of fun with so far, like detection. There's the 2 new items you can build that let you detect ore and stone around you. It's really useful because when you're digging underground, right? Because there's some of the surface caves that break the surface that you can, climb into, but some of them you have to dig to because they're completely underground. So you dig over towards the ore you find and you break into another pocket cave, but then there's also plants and maybe a treasure chest in there and these kind of new things that you can go exploring under there. And that's really what we're going for, that sense of exploration, that there's parts of the world out there that you can't see right away, that you have to go find and look for, and you'll find, new treasures. And of course, as we add combat in the future, we can add new treasure chests that have more challenge to get to them because there's enemies you have to fight off and fight your way to find those treasure chests and earn the rewards inside. So that's a quick look at caves, how they are now, and a little bit about what we have planned for them up ahead. And of course, we want to get your feedback so we can keep it in mind as we continue developing for the future, what you like, what you don't like, that sort of thing. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.